So even if you live somewhere that freezes every winter, there's a good chance you have a tropical fruit growing in your own backyard.
My nerdiest counterpart. Daniel sounds like Gollum and Sam Ganji combined when he sees, oh my God, there's a pawpaw under the, look at that! Oh, it's perfectly ripe.
So this is a pawpaw. This is North America's largest edible fruit. This is the only member of its family that grows in temperate North America. All the others are tropical fruits. But this tree grows from Florida all the way to Canada, from the East Coast all the way to Kansas. Pawpaws love growing in the shade, oftentimes in kind of lowland, close to rivers, but they produce most fruit when they're growing in the sun. This tree here is right on the edge of a forest clearing, and it is loaded with some big fruit.
You can easily recognize pawpaws from their large tapered leaves that are arranged alternately along the stem. The only look-alike are hickory leaves, but the similarities are pretty superficial. Pawpaws have smooth, nondescript gray bark and these small brown buds. In the spring, you may also notice their small maroon flowers that smell pretty bad.
What time of year is it right now, Daniel?
So it is the beginning of September. And
in Tennessee.
In Tennessee, and that's important to note because lots of times, depending where you're at, if you're further north, it'll probably ripen a little bit later, towards middle of September to early October.
Here you'll see Daniel in his natural habitat, standing in the trunk of my vehicle to reach more pawpaws. Let's see how it goes. Daniel, what you got?
We got a beast of a pawpaw.
Ooh!
Look at that.
Oh my gosh.
That'd be a good sized mango at the store.
That would be.
That is pure deliciousness right there.
Great.
The flavor is really good. It's kind of the combination of a banana and a mango. All right, so we're gonna cut this open. If you're like my friend Anne, you can go completely feral and just rip into it. Alrighty, there you go. Look at that.
Here's your spoon.
Oh. Got this nice cherry spoon. Let's give it a try. That's good. That's really good. Has all these big black seeds in it, which is kind of similar to actual wild banana. These, however, are not even closely related to bananas, even though the flavor is pretty similar.
Daniel, you stepped on one. You're fired. This is also the color of a ripe pawpaw. This one's a tad overripe, but that's the color it really should be. Daniel insisted that this was ripe, and I was like, no way, because as someone with a tad more experience, it should be softer on the outside. It still tastes good, but could taste better. A lot of people get really annoyed about this. A lot of people get really annoyed about the seeds inside, but as someone who also believes that seedless watermelons are tasteless watermelons, I know how to navigate my way around a seed. These seeds do have a protective coating on them, so they are more likely to germinate if you disrupt that protective coating.
So this is one of the seeds that Anne generously just spit into my hand that still has a protective coating on it. And these are some seeds that I just kind of bit that coating off. They never turn bright like other fruit, and so they can blend in with the rest of the tree canopy, and then when they fall, they blend into the rest of the foliage. Also, nearly all animals in the forest love pawpaws: deer, possums, raccoons. So beating the wildlife with the pawpaws is the other trick. Finding a ripe pawpaw, lots of times just looking on the ground is the best option, but again, you're in that race with the wild animals at that point.
Because pawpaws are so hard to spot in the natural foliage, it is a good idea if you find a tree, especially on the forest edge where the sun shines, to just give the tree a little shake. So that's what Daniel's doing over there, is shaking all the trees. We looked to see if we could stick the picker up in first, and if we don't see any right off the bat shaking the tree, will give us the second option for success. Oh!
Where are they?
Golden nose heels, it's right there on the ground, right behind you, 3 feet forward. It is tick season, so I prefer with my long hair not to be the shaker of the pawpaw trees. But once they're on the ground, they're really hard to see, and Daniel suffers from male refrigerator blindness, a common affliction for men.
I found it.
Oh, wow.
Look at this.
See, I didn't even need to get out.
Look at this little guy.
Oh my gosh, look at that one. It's got a little nub in and everything.
Adorable. So pawpaws tend to produce a lot more fruit when there's good sun exposure, but they do really well in the shade and continue to reproduce even though there isn't the fruit production, because they spread through roots, essentially. They'll send up new shoots through their roots. And so in the forest, you'll come across like these entire pawpaw patches. And we've just been looking, we've found a bunch of these patches without a single fruit. Luckily, this little patch here, we do have a fruit.
We have a fruit.
This is probably the biggest pawpaw tree I've seen.
Yeah, look
You
at
can
the
tell
size of the trunk.
It blew
Holy
over
moly.
and then got stabilized by the stream bank and kept growing. Pretty cool. One of the only things that'll actually eat pawpaw leaves are tiger swallow butterflies, which are beautiful butterflies. So pawpaws are a win as far as, you know, being resistant to grazers like deer and rabbits and such.
That's what actually allows them to get tall and not just get munched off at the nubbin like
Exactly.
apples and other things.
There's a little bit of give. It's kind of like an avocado. Then they are ready. And all three of these guys are. Look how it just popped off.
Oh yeah,
Popped right off.
pawpawed right off.
I tried to
that?
pick some last week and I kind of forced them and they definitely weren't ready. So if they come off easily, that's how you know they're good.
Kind of crappy thing about pawpaws is that they don't really ripen well off of the tree. So like last year I picked a bunch that were hard and I wanted to, you know, ripen them on my counter, kind of like an avocado or a banana or a mango. But they basically just went from not being ripe to being rotten and there was no in between. Did you say something about some low-hanging fruit, Daniel? Oh, finally something you can reach.
It's a little hard. I don't know if I want to pick it.
Oh, well then don't.
I might wait.
They are a lot further back in the forest now where they've gotten a lot less sun and stuff, so it would make sense that our ones that were on the forest edge would be riper than these. I see you fondling some more fruit, Daniel.
Yeah.
I think we're too far back in for it to
Might
be
be.
ripe yet. Like all the, I mean, there's so many big trees in here, but I think that we might have to come back like next week.
It's hard to time, right? Because like, you know, once they're ready, they fall pretty fast. But yeah, these guys probably at least a couple of days to a week.
Cool. Since we've got like, what, 10 days of sunshine in our future,
Yeah.
we might as well leave them on there and come back in a couple of days and recheck them.
Yeah.
Because we've already got quite a bounty.
Hopefully you enjoyed this introduction to pawpaws. They are a cool, frost-resistant, shade-tolerant tree that can potentially be incorporated in the landscape in really cool ways. If you're lucky enough to find a fruit, go ahead and save the seeds and plant them. And even if you're too late to find the fruit this year, but you find a tree, go ahead and check around the base of the tree because there's a good chance that some animal left some seeds there for you to collect. It's important to remember that the seedlings and young trees are really sensitive to overexposure of the sun, so they do best in shade or partial shade. Also, they do best in well-drained soil that's high in organic matter. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know in the comments, and if you want to learn about any other specific trees, please let me know. Thanks.